Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Repeater On, and today we're going to be doing another Payday 2 tier list. This time we're going to be ranking all of the characters in Payday 2, and just how much I enjoy them. So if your favorite character scores low, then disregard my opinion completely and say that it's wrong. Whatever you want to do. Like I said, this is solely based on my opinion. We're going to be going through each of them, and this is going to be more based on like their voice lines and playing them, as opposed to how they look or how their outfits or masks look. Maybe we'll do another one later, just discussing outfits or masks, but let's begin this one. Our first heister is Dallas, and Dallas has some pretty good voice lines. He has some of the most iconic ones from Payday. He's very entertaining to listen to if he's on your team or if you're playing him. He's definitely got a whole lot of voice lines that became memes, which is a great thing. And even some of them are still funny even after I've played this game a whole lot. Dallas is always entertaining, and I think I'd put Dallas solidly in... Dallas is either A or S tier. I think I'm going to put him into S tier because he is pretty funny. Some of his voice lines can get a bit annoying, but for the most part I like him, and his mask looks rather cool. Again, we're not going to be focusing on masks too much this time, but might as well say it. Next we have Chains. Chains is another good one that has a lot of very fun voice lines too. I like a lot of things about him, and he is pretty funny to play. He's also funny to listen to in other ones. He, for some reason, looks the most out of place if you start changing around his mask too much, though, compared to other ones. Like, I've seen IT Tech Chains, which is kind of hilarious when he's running around like that. I've also seen Joker Chains, and that's pretty cool. I'd put Chains up into A tier. He might be an S tier one, though, too. He's either A or S tier. Same with Dallas. Up next, we got Hoxton. Hoxton is another really good heister overall. I like a lot of his voice lines. I like a lot of the spamming voice lines you can give to other people. Him just calling people wanker is super funny, and he fits really well. He is one of the better ones. I'd put Hoxton probably into S tier. I think I'd put him above Dallas, because I don't think I really dislike any of Hoxton's voice lines overall. Next, we got Wolf. Wolf is a weird one, and people have told me that it's because a lot of the voice lines are recycled because they couldn't get the same actor to do the same voice. So rather than hiring another actor, or maybe they did hire another actor in combination to this, they recycled a lot of his voice lines, which were not recorded the best at the time. So that's why they sound a little bit off, because maybe the copies got messed up, or maybe it just wasn't recorded all that great and high quality to begin with. Wolf does stand out as one of the ones here that I don't mind at all, but I don't really remember, and I usually forget what a lot of his are. I'd probably put Wolf into C tier. He's the least good, I guess, out of the original crew, but again, I don't have any problem with him or anything like that. It does feel like a lot of his stuff is kind of off. All right, after this, we've got Houston. Houston, I think, is another kind of basic character. I don't mind him at all, but he's not one of my favorites either, so he'd probably also go into C tier with Wolf. John Wick. John Wick's kind of a weird one, because on one hand, I like John Wick as a character, I like Keanu Reeves, and they did a close enough job of getting Keanu Reeves' voice. You can clearly tell it's not Keanu, but it's fine. So overall, I don't really have many problems with him. I think I'd put him a little bit higher than Wolf or Hoxton, probably into B tier, or Houston, sorry. I get Houston and Hoxton's names mixed up, but I think I got them the right way here. Up next, we got Clover. Clover has some really high screechy noises that she makes, which can be a bit annoying. That being said, she does have some funny voice lines, and I do like her overall. So I'd probably put Clover up into B tier as well. Dragan's up next. Dragan's another one that I don't really feel strongly one way or the other about. He's just another okay character. He's got some interesting voice lines, but nothing that really stands out, so probably another C tier. If it was based on mask and outfit, Jacket would easily be S tier because it's so iconic. The weird thing about Jacket, though, I find, is that a lot of his voice lines are, well, they're automated and they repeat pretty frequently. You get repeats of his voice lines pretty often, which kind of sucks. It feels like he doesn't have as much of a library of voice lines as other people. It's interesting that they gave Jacket a voice in the first place, though, and it's interesting that it's also on a recorder, which is kind of related to Hotline Miami, but I don't know why they couldn't just have Richard speak for him. I know Jacket doesn't speak at all throughout Hotline Miami, but Richard, his mask, does, and it talks to multiple people, so you could probably just give him more of a menacing voice that just comes from the chicken mask itself. So I don't know, I'm kind of conflicted about Jacket. I love Jacket as a person, and if it was Hotline Miami, he'd easily be S tier, but I think for here, he's going to go into A tier. Bonnie's another one that has a lot of kind of annoying voice lines. I don't really hate her, but man, a lot of her voice lines are just strange. I think I'd put Bonnie in like C tier. Maybe D tier, I'm not sure. Some of her voice lines get on my nerves, so yeah, not one of the highest. We got Sokol next. I really like Sokol. He has a lot of very entertaining voice lines. I especially like when he's picking up pagers and just talking to people, especially with his heavy Russian accent. It is rather funny. And I'd put Sokol up into A tier as well. Bodhi is another heister that I don't really feel really strong one way or the other. He's okay. His mask is interesting. I know he's supposed to be from Point Break, but I haven't even watched the new Point Break, so I don't know how close the Bodhi is from that one from the older Point Break. Another character that I don't really have strong feelings one way or the other for, so probably up into C tier. He's fine. Oh, Jiro's up next. Oh no, wait, no, this is Jiro. Whoops. I messed up the mask. They look kind of similar. Alright, hang on. Bodhi, you get up into C tier. Jiro! Jiro is the Japanese guy that barely speaks any English and mostly screams stuff in Japanese, which is hilarious. I always like having Jiro on the team, whether I'm playing him or somebody else is. He is really entertaining, and I'm not sure if I'd put him into S tier, but I would definitely put him up into A tier. He is really entertaining for that. Jimmy's up next. I like Jimmy overall with his manic energy and his crazy voice lines. Jimmy was the best character in Hardcore Henry, and he was extremely entertaining in that. He's extremely entertaining in this. Kind of fits with that personality. I'd probably also put Jimmy up into A tier. Next we got Sydney. Sydney, I kind of like and dislike. A lot of her voice lines can be really annoying. A lot of people like playing Sydney. Well, that can kind of detract from her overall. I don't hate her, though, and a lot of her voice lines are kind of cool, so I'd probably put her up into B tier, but I don't know. If that's a long playing session and there's a bunch of people just playing Sydney, hopping in and out of the game, she's going right down to D tier, because I can only take the screaming Australian woman for so long. Next we got Rust. This is voiced by Ron Perlman, who does a great job. It's always entertaining to hear Ron. I kind of wish he had more voice lines than he did, though. I played Rust a lot when I first started playing the game, and a lot of the outfits fit really well with him. He does have some good voice lines, but it feels like his voice lines are kind of limited, similar to like Jacket's. So again, probably on the low end of A tier, similar to Jacket, where there's some problems and I could easily move him down to B tier. But overall, I like the uniqueness about him. Scarface is up next, so Tony Montana. They did a really good job at replicating Tony's voice in this, I'd say. It sounds pretty similar to Al Pacino's voice in Scarface. And Tony has some of the best voice lines. I really like Tony. His mask actually looks really cool, too. Just on voice lines, I think Tony probably goes up to S tier. He is very recognizable, and I really do like him. Even though I can't get him, I can't play him, that might make it so I like him even more, because I didn't start playing this when the Scarface DLC was out, so I could never buy him. So, unfortunately, if anybody's playing Scarface, it's somebody else that I'm hearing from, because I can't play him. Sangris is up next. I like Sangris a lot. Sangris has some really funny voice lines. He's pretty entertaining all the way around, and I'd probably put him also up into A tier. Duke. Duke has some of the best voice lines in the game. I really enjoy him. And Duke would probably be, like, easy S tier, too. So many of his voice lines are just so iconic and so recognizable. Plus, I just like some of the way he announces a lot of his announcements, or a lot of his yelling and stuff. He's got a very James Bond style to him, which I think is funny for him being a heister. Alright, up next we have the H3H3 characters, Ethan and Gila. These ones feel really weird every time I see them, and I don't care for them at all. I don't own the DLC for this, and I don't really intend on getting it. It's just, neither of the heisters really stand out to me all that much, and it feels really weird for them to be in the game, so I'm going to put both of them down into D tier. And then finally we have Joy, which Joy has the most annoying voice in the game. It's okay if you get a Joy every once in a while, and you play like one mission for her. Some of her voice lines are alright, but for the most part, the tone of her voice, her screechiness, all of that is really annoying, and Joy gets the lowest spot out of everybody. So this is where I'd put all of the heisters in Payday 2 in terms of how much I like them. Kind of an interesting list the way it turned out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Maybe we'll be doing the masks or the outfits next time. Talk about them and rank them, because I think that could be kind of cool too. If you guys enjoyed this and you're not subscribed, be sure that you get subscribed. That way you get notifications whenever I post any of these videos. If you'd like to help out the channel more, and if you'd like to see your name on this list, You can join my Patreon, or you can join the YouTube membership program. Either way, you get early access to some of the videos, and with the membership program, you also get access to certain emotes, badged by your name, as well as some other bonuses depending on which level of membership you choose to join. Thanks everybody who does that. It really helps out the channel a lot. I really do appreciate it. This list will be updated at the end of the month. Again, thank you guys. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to all of you guys next time. Till then, stay cool, and bye.